I would like to express our sincere gratitude to the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center for selecting Uganda to benefit from this training. I believe you're also doing the same in other African countries, because gender-based violence in Africa is really a very big issue. For us in Uganda, honestly speaking, sexual and gender-based violence is a very big issue. And according to our third National Development Plan, which we've concluded, GBV was one of the underlying factors of inequalities in Uganda, of poverty, and of course at times vulnerability and uncertainty amongst families, amongst all of us, by the way, because we have quite issues at the workplace, on our streets, within our offices, within our homes, within our schools, almost everywhere in Uganda, issues of gender-based violence are really prevalent. Previously, we used to have a lot of physical violence, but when the laws came into place, we now witness issues of neglect. We now witness issues of emotional violence. Violence online is widely spread. We've got cases of people who have really suffered a lot of trauma because of the unnecessary sharing of either images or videos online, and within 1 minute, you find that it's almost all distributed in Uganda. So it's a point of caution that all of us need to be very careful what we share and what we keep on our computers, on our phones, and how we keep our information.
Gender-based violence, as we know it, and as has been said already, is a very pressing issue, not only in Uganda, but also on the continent and globally. And it's also a very pressing issue that has to be addressed, or has been addressed in many international as well as regional frameworks. But also national frameworks has actually touched on the issues. Very important amongst them is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against Women. And it's important to also emphasize that the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325, but also Resolution 1820, amongst others, lays a lot of emphasis on finding ways to addressing gender-based violence. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to mention that since the development of that manual and the implementation of this particular training programs, the Women, Youth, Peace and Security Institute at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center has been able to implement this training in collaboration with local actors in different countries, including Nigeria, Niger, Cameroon, Central African Republic, South Sudan, Liberia, Ghana, and now we are here in Uganda to do this with you. And we are very happy to be collaborating on this.
From the side of UN Women, we have been and we remain committed to working hand in hand with the government, the civil society organization, international and regional institutions, and we engage in areas of elimination of violence against women and girls. We are engaging in women's political participation and leadership. We engage in empowering women in our communities, and we are also working on the Women, Peace and Security agenda in Uganda. So to us, Kofi Annan coming to partner with Uganda is such an opportunity for us to engage as well as we push the work of UN Women ahead to serve the people of Uganda.
We have different forms of violence in Uganda. For physical violence, currently we are at 45%. For sexual violence, I think right now we are at 22%. Child child violence, especially sexual violence against girls, is at 25%. And in most cases, 24% of these girls become mothers. They become pregnant, and at the end of the day, become mothers. There is economic violence. It is high. There is neglect, where we are neglecting our roles and responsibilities as parents. We have so many cases of children who are being neglected. And of course, in cases of neglect, we find our children not able to access the basic requirements. Access to education becomes a challenge. Access to health services becomes a challenge. Most of these children we have on the streets, some of these have been neglected by parents.
You're okay. Afi, join us. Afi, come.